Penny, is it usually this slow during the night shifts? Pretty much. Your usual creeps come in for dinner, but there are a few regular customers. Be nice to them, alright? Are you done cleaning the tables? Be nice? Could you believe the last creep that came in here poured all the soup onto the table? Honestly, Donna, I expected that. Did you really think he was gonna leave just like that after you called him a perv? Well, what was I supposed to do? This is a diner. Where did he think he was? Customers who come in during the day shift are much more decent. Penny and Donna first met each other when they started working at this diner on Interstate 80 just by the border of California in Nevada. Both the girls lived in Reno. However, it was recently that the two actually got to know each other personally and became quite good friends when they moved in together. Penny used to live on her own in a small apartment. She led a pretty simple life, working a full-time job doing the night shift at the diner and managing to afford a few credits at the community college. Donna used to work the day shift and lived with her boyfriend. But ever since they broke up, Donna had been searching for a place of her own and ended up moving in with Penny. That was when she requested her boss to change her shift so that it would be convenient for both the girls. Working here wasn't that great. The diner was in no way fancy, but it was cozy, a place where travelers and some local people came to eat. During the day, people would be in and out, and sometimes the diner would even be a little busy. However, the night shift was always slow. The owner was rather cheap and stingy. He hadn't hired a cook to stay at night. So Donna would clean the diner, take care of the reception, and Penny would run the kitchen. Although Penny found herself sitting out at the reception most of the time because there would be no customers. As the girls gossiped to pass the time, they heard a noise from the parking lot as a car drove in. A man got out of the car. He was quite tall and broad. He grabbed a small parcel from his car, shut the door, and put his hands in the pocket of his long, dark trench coat. His hat partially covered his face as he bent his head in the chilly wind and entered through the doors of the diner. Penny kindly smiled and said, "You're a bit late today. Is everything okay?" The man walked to the front counter and placed the parcel in front of Penny. Got a little caught up with something on the way here. Penny picked up the parcel and headed towards the kitchen. 20 minutes, Mr. Edward. I'll make the steak just how you like it. As the man sat down by the far end of the diner by the window, Donna stared at him for a while. For the past few nights she had been working the shift, she saw this man come in every night. There was something different about him. He wasn't like the usual customers Donna served here. He never actually ordered anything from the menu. He brought in that parcel and handed it to Penny. Donna walked into the kitchen and peered over Penny's shoulder, watching her take out a finely cut piece of meat along with a packet of some dried rosemary and other spices packed inside the parcel. What happened? Is there another order? No, I was just wondering, who is that man, and why are you always so nice to him? He's Mr. Edward Carter. He's been a regular customer for the past few months. He brings in his own pork chops and asks me to roast it for him. He doesn't talk much, but he's always been kind and polite, and he gives a good tip. You'll like him once you get to know him. The first time Mr. Edward came into the diner, Penny too had found his request quite odd. But over the days, she had become rather fond of the man. Every now and then, he conversed with her about this and that, had his food, and left like a gentleman. Penny assumed the man must have been lonely. He lived all by himself, and at this age, cooking must have been a hassle. So, Mr. Edward, where are you from? Do you live in Reno? Well, at the moment, I am, but I've moved from place to place throughout my entire life. I don't really know where to call home. Everyone has a home. I was born and raised in Nevada. What about you? I spent my childhood and a bit of my college life in Oregon. Then I moved to California for work. But that was years ago. It's been years since I moved. What about you? You must live nearby. Yeah, I live in Reno. So you travel a lot. If you don't mind me asking, what do you do? I'm retired now. I saved up some money in the early days. I used to be a scientist. That's impressive. You must have a lot of experience. Experience? Yes, indeed. My life has been full of experiences. Some even strange and bizarre. Strange and bizarre? I'd love to hear the story. It happened when I was in Alaska, on a project many years ago. My colleagues and I got trapped in a blizzard. I still remember it like it was yesterday. But perhaps another day, Penny. I've got to get going. As the man patiently waited for his food, Donna prepared his utensils and brought a pitcher of cold water to the table. Within a while, Penny walked out of the kitchen with a nicely decorated platter in her hands. You'll like the steak even better today. I added a knob of butter on top. Thank you, Penny. It smells delightful. Penny and Donna gave the man some privacy. He enjoyed his steak, left a heavy tip at the counter before he bid the girls farewell and left. Thank you again for the delicious meal, Penny. I'll see you girls tomorrow. Good night, Mr. Edward. Donna watched as the man drove out of the driveway. As Penny started to clean up the dishes, Donna looked out to see if the car was gone. I don't know about you, but isn't he kind of strange? If there was one thing Donna learned from the past few nights, was that at night, anyone who walked through the doors would be one of the three: a freak, a weirdo, or a perv. Penny always avoided interacting too much with any of these customers, and most of the time, anyone who tried to chat with her unnecessarily, she would avoid the confrontation with any silly excuse. Donna, however, was a bit hot-tempered and ended up being rude to anyone who tried to misbehave with her. Though Mr. Edward didn't fall into any of these categories, and was rather the opposite, he was strange in a different way. Both the girls' shift ended at 5 a.m. in the morning. But since there were rarely any other customers during that time, Donna and Penny started cleaning up. It was some time later, while Donna was wiping the tables and Penny was stacking up the cups, that they heard a few men laughing outside. Donna turned to see someone she recognized and immediately went behind the counter. That's Jimmy, my ex-boyfriend. What is he doing here? Here for trouble? Why else? He's been harassing me ever since I dumped him. Hey babe, since when did you start working the night shifts? Jimmy said as he walked in with his friends. Hey there, I'm Ron, and you are? Penny cringed as one of Jimmy's friends leaned over the counter grinning at her. What do you want, Jimmy? We have a lot of talking to do. I don't want to talk, and if you're here to create a scene, I'm warning you, you're not going to like how this ends. Donna said, gripping one of the forks on the table. Don't try to test me. Oh, this girl is feisty. Jimmy laughed out before he suddenly pounded onto the table. You're coming with me right now, whether you like it or not. Penny pulled Donna aside and pointed Jimmy right in the face. What is wrong with you? Just leave her alone. You don't behave like that in a public place. If you don't leave right now, I'll call the police on you. Jimmy's friends laughed out as they threw down the chairs by the counter. Sweetheart, we'll be out of here with both you ladies before the police even get to come here. Jimmy stretched out his hands, almost grabbing onto Donna. You think you can leave a note on the fridge and just leave? You're coming home with me. Get away from me. Donna, grab the knife. Everyone suddenly turned around, startled when they heard the glass door to the diner slam open. Penny and Donna hid behind the counter, seeing someone storm inside. What is that? They both passed a glance at each other before Donna called the police. The two girls watched in horror as Jimmy and his friends tried to fend the man off, as he picked them up above his head and threw them out into the parking lot. Jimmy and the guys stumbled up, limping on their legs as they stared at this thing walking towards them. They ran down the street as fast as they could, escaping for their lives. When it had become quiet, Penny and Donna nodded at each other before they stood up. Some of the diner's glass panels had shattered, the door was swinging on its hinges, and there was no one there but them. Donna gulped as she looked at all the damage. Penny? Was that Mr. Edward? Penny stared around her in disbelief. I don't know. The police arrived just moments after and sealed the diner. The owner came in shouting at the girls as he looked at his property. As Penny and Donna were explaining to the police what happened, the police dog began barking from inside. One of the officers suddenly called out to the sheriff, "I think the search dog caught on to something. We need to inspect the whole diner." Penny and Donna followed after to see the matter. They were quite frightened to see the dog jump up against the grill in the kitchen, barking at it continuously. Don't be alarmed. It's not unusual for the dog to pick up something at a public place. A lot of people come here, right? Samples of residue from the grill and other surfaces were taken from the kitchen. Before the police left, they informed Penny and Donna that they might have to go in for further questioning. The girls were allowed leave that night. But both Penny and Donna were stunned by what they experienced. They hadn't told the police, being confused themselves as to what exactly happened. But as for Penny, she stared at the kitchen in bewilderment. What had she been cooking all these months? And for who? This is so shocking. Are you sure the samples weren't misplaced? No, officers. The residue we found on the grill contained that of human DNA. Click on the subscribe button and check out more awesome videos on our channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon because you know it's interesting.